Hi, I'm Tina with Riverside Greenhouses. We are now open and it is quite early in our season. It's just the beginning of May. We're always so anxious for this time of the year. It's very nice to be getting your flowers and preparing your yards and thinking about all the things that you want to plant. But as I said, it's still quite early, and a lot of people ask me, when is it safe to put things outside? So I always say, for our area, we're northern Alberta, we're a zone 2 to 3, so it's really important that you watch the weather, and typically nothing goes outside until the end of May. All of the custom work that I do and anything that I hold for people here in the greenhouse, it doesn't leave until the risk of our last frost. So usually after May long weekend is what we shoot for. Having said that, lots of people still will like to buy their flowers. So when you take them home, you can't put them outside all day long or even leave them outside all night. It's much too cold this time of year. We'll still get frost at night and very cold days. So you have to keep them safe in your house or even in your garage, away from the cold, from the frost. Now, the other thing that we contend with that is such an issue is the wind. Even though our day might be nice and sunny and the temperature might be warm, there can still be a really cold wind, and that can absolutely damage your plants. Now, there's a thing called hardening off, and that's something that I do in here in the greenhouse, and I'll start that right away this week. Probably Wednesday, I'll start hardening things off. My temperatures are fairly low already, but what that means is that I will just slowly start dropping the temperature down on the furnaces so that the plants can get used to being cooler. Next door already is quite cool. I find that things grow better when they are cool. Now, the other thing, in addition to the wind, is when you do purchase your plants early, you need to just take care of them and make sure that they don't get long and stringy. So that does happen to us here in the greenhouse, but I'm continually pinching. That's something that my staff works on. We're always pinching and pruning and taking care of things. So I thought I would just take a minute to just show you what that means. So what I have right here is the Indian mint. So the Indian mint is wonderful. It grows really nice and long. It gets really thick and full. But you can see that it's got this one long one. So pinching is when I'm just gonna take this back to the two leaves that are right there, and I'm just gonna either cut it with scissors or just with my fingernails. You just pinch it back. So what's going to happen now is all this new growth is gonna be able to quickly meet up with this. It might need to get pinched again, but you don't have one long string that's growing. Now, things like petunias, your wave petunias, the supertunias, even your bedding plant petunias, they will start to reach and grow long and stringy when they need more sun. And sometimes that's also just how they grow. So if you have a tray of supertunias in your kitchen or in your garage, they're not going to get the same light that they would outside. And this is what you're going to see, these long ones coming out. So I'm going to do the same thing, and you just go back to the next new growth and just simply pinch it off. Now this will encourage your plant to get really nice and thick and bushy. So this is regular maintenance that we will do to baskets and planters up to a certain point, and then we just let them grow. This basket I wanted to show you was because of the verbena. So that's a really popular plant. I love the verbena, but it does also just grow this way. It grows through all the flowers and it grows very flat, which is why it works as a good mix. But I've got this one long one coming out. So I'm gonna take it right back to here, which is close to the edge of the basket. And I'm going to do so that it keeps this nice round shape, and then eventually once I let it just grow it'll be a big, beautiful ball. And this is another good example. So here is Supertunia basket, and one has grown extra long on this side. So this basket is filled in really nicely, and I want to keep it a nice round ball. So I'm just actually going to pinch this off right there. I did take quite a bit, but if I'm able to find this basket again to show you what it looks like, it will be well worth the sacrifice that this was. And then the last thing I wanted to address is if you do plant things outside, if it's the end of May, weather's beautiful, and we end up with that frost that happens in the first part of June, and you've already planted your planters, your flower beds are done, and we're going to get some bad weather, run out with a sheet, with a towel, anything that you have that could be light enough that it's not going to squish your plants, and just cover things for the night. Could be a night or two that we might get cold weather. If things are really, really windy, take your baskets down, tuck them up against the house. Anything that you can do to protect them just for the evenings that it might get cold. I hope these tips help.